Hi, this is Chris Cooper, and I'm delighted to welcome today somebody that I really admire. Dr. Meryl Koslow is the president of Timeline Consulting Inc., also an estate agent with Sotheby's One International Realty, and she's the author of Self-Made, Generate Your Wealth Like a Millionaire. Now, I first met Meryl when I interviewed her on my radio show with Dr. Ivan Meisner of BNI, and Meryl had just written her book, and Ivan had written the foreword. And I'm pleased to say, delighted that he wrote the foreword to my book as well. So we have something in common. Now, I asked Meryl if she would share her thoughts on the power to get things done when we were writing the book. And she sent me a wonderful email, and it included this. She said, Chris, I'm always motivated. I have firecrackers in me when I wake up. All I want to do is make millions of dollars in every given minute. And I feel driven to do that. And what I realized there was that Meryl was somebody who had taught herself to get things done and was very, very effective at it. And therefore, I'm delighted to introduce, so we can find out more, Dr. Meryl Koslow. Meryl, welcome. Lovely to see you today. How did you acquire this habit to keep getting things done when to most of us it's not a natural process?
I love that question because I look at it as 5 different things, and I'm going to go through all 5, and they are a burning desire, always striving for effective action, staying inspired, reading or listening to books, and a belief system about being totally confident in yourself. So let's talk about a burning desire. You know, I grew up in a very loving family, but we were paycheck to paycheck, week by week. We didn't do any fancy things. We didn't do those, family vacations. And as a little girl, I was striving. I was just dying to know, okay, I know I'm going to have to earn a lot of money, so I want to see what's out in the world. So that burning desire is what pulls me out of bed in the morning, is what makes me go. Always striving for effective action. I personally get a thrill when I achieve something. So when I had the consulting company to the chiropractic profession, if I did, let's say I did an advertising campaign and it generated 45 new patients that week, I was jazzed. And not only was I excited, the staff was excited, and then we take it and share it with the other doctors. So no matter what I do, it's all about effective action and having that accomplishment. Because the feeling of success, Chris, it feels really good, and it is contagious. The other thing I do is I stay inspired. You know, I have loved real estate at a very young age. So what I do to stay inspired is I drive through neighborhoods, and in chiropractic school, it was Old Brookville. You know, now it's wherever I fly around the country, I go into beautiful exotic neighborhoods, and I look at the homes and I say, you know what? If they can achieve it, so can I. If they can think it, they can believe it. So back in the day when I was a student and I was on student loans and I didn't have money, I always knew, because of that burning desire, I was going to make it one day. And then reading or listening to books, that is a skill. I mean, I used to love to go into Barnes & Noble and read every magazine, read the books. My favorite books were always written by CEOs of large corporations. Like my favorite book was Lou Gerstner, Who Says Elephants Can't Dance. When I would read anything, Jack Welch, anything, I would pretend I was that CEO running that company in those leadership positions, even though I was a student or a new doctor. It didn't matter. What mattered was I was inspired and I was jazzed by it. And of course I read the books on how to say no, how to negotiate, the how to, but reading, and to your viewers, your listeners, listening to books, it's the only way to nourish your brain. And the last one is belief system. Believe that you are highly confident, that you are the expert at what you do. So if I'm speaking about being a luxury agent, I am that expert. If I'm a chiropractor, I am that expert. If I'm a professional speaker, I am that expert. Because it's with that confidence and leadership that people become inspired. And if they're inspired, then they know that they can be a leader as well. So the skill is a belief system and being highly confident in yourself.
Wonderful. So Meryl, you mentioned some really great ideas there to help get things done. I wonder, what is your number 1 tip or strategy for getting things done?
Chris, my number 1 tip for getting things done is write it down, write it down, write it down. You may get a great idea, and if it fleets by and you didn't write it down, you've missed it. And if you don't have the ability to do it yourself, Ask somebody, communicate, and let them be inspired and let them do the task for you.
So Meryl, just how important do you think is getting things done, whether you feel like it or not, to self-made success?
I love this question because there's two parts to it. One is whether you feel like it or not. And here's my answer to that. How you feel has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with anything. I'm going to say it again. How you feel has nothing to do with anything. So if you wake up in the morning and the alarm goes off and you hit snooze and you hit snooze and you hit snooze, you are making no difference to this world. Get yourself in the shower, wash it all off, and go out there and make a difference. The other thing is getting the right things done. That is imperative because we all know how to make a list and we all know how to do work under the guise of work, but we also know when we're lying to ourselves. So I'm going to give you a very real life snippet of this. So I'm in luxury real estate and I must prospect. I must spend 2 hours on the phone doing that. Now, I can do the little self-sabotage thing and take out the cell phone. If I don't put this out of sight, out of view, I now sabotage it and now I'm doing the wrong work. I'd be lying to myself because to prospect generates business and makes money. To answer the phone and do the details, sure, that's work, but it's not the right work. And you said getting the right things done. So be truthful to yourself and get those right things done.
Meryl, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you today. You really are an inspiration. Thanks so much for joining us. And I'm very look forward to speaking to you again soon. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And congratulations on your book, The Power to Get Things Done, whether you feel like it or not.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.